This story begins with two primates playing with a skull they found, kicking it like a soccer ball and celebrating goals with each other. This is how our primate friends invented soccer. Then, we are introduced to the protagonist, Amadeo, a father who was playing table soccer in the shed of his house until his son arrives to try and play with him. However, his father tells him to leave. Later, we can see that the father and son don't have a very good relationship. To improve communication with his son, the father decides to tell him a story. Here, they introduce us to a boy who is Amadeo many years ago, working as a waiter in a bar. He was deeply in love with a girl named Laura who used to visit the bar. After exchanging a few glances, the girl asks him to teach her how to play table soccer, which was in the bar. Things were going well, they were both having fun. But at that moment, the most obnoxious boy, whom we'll call Grosso, arrives. This boy was very good at soccer but was excessively arrogant and abusive. He came to the bar with the intention of challenging Amadeo to a table soccer game. So, the two of them began to play, and Grosso quickly took the lead, scoring 3 goals to Amadeo's 0, as Amadeo was initially not moving his players because he was afraid. However, at one point, the obnoxious boy starts to mock and call him a chicken. This triggered Amadeo's anger, and he started playing the way only he knew how to play. In this way, Amadeo turned the game around, making Grosso look like a loser. The angry little boy said that nobody should beat him at anything and that he hates this town. Taking advantage of this boy's arrogant attitude, who doesn't like to lose, a strange man approaches and proposes to him being the best at everything. Several years later, we see Amadeo as an adult still playing table soccer in the same bar. Laura, the girl he was in love with, comes to tell him about her plans to study abroad. She asks Amadeo about his plans for the future, and then we realize that Amadeo has spent all these years just playing table soccer and had no aspirations in life. Amadeo and Laura notice that there's a crowd gathered outside the bar. They go outside to see a mega-technological helicopter and a modern truck stopping in the middle of the town square. From this, the strange man, whom we'll call the manager, emerges, saying not to fear and that he has come to bring the future to the town. The manager tells them that a wealthy and talented person has returned, and from a distance, they see that it's Grosso, the obnoxious little boy who now looks more muscular and seems to be a soccer superstar. Grosso tells everyone that he has bought the town with the money he has earned and plans to turn it into a place dedicated to soccer. He intends to do this by building the biggest stadium that could ever exist on Earth. He starts by demolishing the bar where Amadeo works. Amadeo tries to rescue his table soccer, but he can only grab one player named Cappy, as the rest of the team is taken away. Laura wants Grosso to spare the town, but he ignores her and forcibly takes her away. While Amadeo is praying in the town square, one of his tears falls on Cappy, and miraculously, he comes to life. Cappy tells Amadeo not to give up and that they must find the rest of the team to challenge Grosso again. They begin searching in the dumpster, but the manager had already taken the table soccer. Amadeo distracts him by driving a crane over his car, causing him to leave the area. However, while Amadeo celebrates with the players, a van loads the table soccer. Fortunately, one of the players named Beto manages to climb aboard, leaving a mark with his hair for them to follow. They arrive at a fair where they find all the table soccer players, including those from the opposing team. Meanwhile, Amadeo is still worried about Laura and sees the manager's car nearby. He pretends to be the driver to gain access to the mansion where Grosso is. All of this was happening while Grosso was trying to convince Laura to be his girlfriend by showing off his luxuries and even a statue of himself that only reflected that no one cared about him. Just then, the manager arrived, bringing half of Grosso's table soccer players. Knowing that he was already winning, he tells Laura to accompany him to a laboratory in the mansion. This place was dedicated to experimenting with animals for soccer-related technologies, like ostriches with sneakers in their beaks and pigeons with flags of each team. Grosso tells Laura that he's going to put the table soccer players in sneakers to see what bizarre experiment comes out of it. Laura tries to stop him, but Grosso stops her and starts getting uncomfortably close to her. At that moment, Amadeo arrives to confront him and tells him to leave her alone. They start struggling, and in the meantime, the table soccer players are saving the others who were about to be the next experiment of Grosso. While they are fighting, a lever is accidentally activated, releasing the animals, causing chaos that ultimately leads to a bolt falling into a machine and starting a fire. Shortly afterward, the police arrive and consider Amadeo and Laura as the culprits. Seeing that Grosso was still boasting that no one had ever beaten him at anything, Amadeo tells him that he has beaten him once before and challenges him to a table soccer match. Grosso accepts the challenge but mentions that playing table soccer is something for children, so he suggests they play a real soccer match instead. Laura, taking advantage of Grosso's challenge, whose real name is Agana, makes a condition that if he loses, he must leave the town in peace. Since Grosso was very confident that he would win, he accepts the bet. Amadeo and Laura go from house to house, trying to recruit good players for their team, but they can only manage to recruit a few. Among them are two elderly individuals, a park ranger, the fastest thief in town, a chubby kid named Tom, a strange boy who looks familiar, and finally, an elderly grandmother. With the least skilled team in history, the big day finally arrives. The respective introductions of the opponents are made, and when the game begins, it becomes apparent that Amadeo's team is utterly terrible. The team of Grosso, on the other hand, does as they please and mocks their opponents. In a short time, Grosso scores 2 goals. The manager, noticing that the crowd wants to see a show between the two teams, tells Grosso not to rush things. The people want to witness a spectacle, so the team of bad guys tries to make a show of it. As the second half begins, Cappy, seeing that Amadeo's team needs help, tells all the table soccer players to come onto the field to lend a hand. Since they are so small, no one can see them, and they make several plays, such as tripping a player from the opposing team, preventing Grosso from scoring his 3rd goal, and even disrupting the enemy goalkeeper so Amadeo can score a goal. Amadeo falls, and Cappy tells him to let them handle the ball and score more goals. However, Amadeo refuses this kind of play, saying they will win cleanly with the team he has chosen. Seeing that Amadeo now believes in himself to play this game and that everyone is committed to defending their city, Cappy tells his friends to leave the field and watch how it all ends. The game continues, and it becomes evident that Amadeo's team is playing exceptionally well. They may not be professional players, but they have the determination to win. The strange boy from the classroom ends up scoring a goal, tying the score at 2-2, and time is running out. Amadeo attempts to score a goal but hits the post, and the ball bounces dangerously. As it comes down, Grosso stamps on Amadeo's leg. Grosso takes advantage of this situation to take the ball and launch an attack. Amadeo, with his injured leg, tries to chase his opponent but unfortunately fails. He can only watch as the ball enters his own goal, marking the defeat of his town. But something strange happens. It's completely silent, and no one, absolutely no one, is celebrating Grosso's goal or victory. Grosso is left feeling very unhappy, and he taunts Amadeo for being a loser. Laura goes over to Amadeo to give him a kiss for everything he did in the game. When the town's team stands up, everyone applauds, demonstrating their appreciation for the effort they made to try to win the game. It becomes evident that the town values their determination and sportsmanship more than the result of the match. Grosso can't understand why no one is applauding him, and that he won. Right then, his manager approaches to explain that the people no longer like him. Grosso threatens the manager, saying he will fire him if he doesn't make the people love him. The manager resigns from his job and delivers some legendary words. The stars go out, the legends age. Managers are eternal. They have no reason. The wise reason is everyone still applauding the town's team. We then return to the present, where Amadeo was telling the story to his son. His son expresses disbelief, thinking it must be a lie that table soccer players came to life, something nobody could believe. Amadeo doesn't say anything and leaves the room. However, the curious little boy goes to where his father is playing table soccer and discovers the truth. All the players are alive and greet the boy. His father promises not to hide anything from him again, and this is how the movie ends. It shows the father and son enjoying their table soccer match, and it becomes evident that the townspeople decided to live in another city, a city founded by the brave members of the team who face the best in the world. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more interesting movies.